Yeah, well, it's true, isn't it? Some people do literally make up the mind when they're over the ballot in the electoral centre, like Ron there. I wonder how much the state government, the Palaszczuk performance and their campaigning against Scott Morrison's playing into this. Have you got any sense of that in your conversations with the candidate and others there, Andrew?
I did get the sense that state issues were very much being talked about by voters, but they could really delineate. They knew it was Morrison versus Albanese, not so much about Palaszczuk. Interestingly, as we knocked on the doors, and remember it's only day 2 of pre-poll, a number of people said they had already voted. And I do wonder, Kieran, whether that's a sign of how long this 6-week campaign is feeling for all of us, that people are wanting to get it over and done with. And I do wonder again, because history shows otherwise, whether a 6-week campaign in the end will help the government. But Sam Biggins, he's the LNP candidate, 1.2% margin. One Nation is preferencing him. If the LNP are going to pick up yet another seat from Labor in Queensland, it's going to be in this one. So he's worn out a pair of shoes. He's given himself every chance. And he says, yes, things like roads, things of cost of living are the big issues in this campaign. All right, some of the issues that people raise, there's always in every seat I've been to, it's roads, infrastructure and cost of living. That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
It really does, Andrew. And everybody that I've spoken to through the course of this election campaign, it's about cost of living. It's about having confidence in the team that are running the country, that they can do it, manage the economy and manage it in a way that provides a platform for stable growth into the future.
Now, we had an LNP voter actually mention climate change. I guess you wouldn't always expect that in Queensland. Have you been getting a bit of that?
We have had a little bit of it, Andrew, and it is something that I think the electorate is very mindful of, and certainly the LNP and the Morrison government are very mindful of it as well. As you know, we've committed to net zero by 2050, and I support the party's policy on that. But you know, it is something that the electorate are mindful of as well.
So Blair used to be Oxley. Of course, it was the first place Pauline Hanson was elected to Parliament in 1996. She was a Liberal candidate. She was disendorsed over her controversial views. She won as an independent. Bill Hayden, the former federal Labor leader, also held this seat. But One Nation has a critical role. They got 16% of the vote last time. No reason they won't get a high vote again this time. And I spoke to the LNP candidate, Sam Biggins, about this and the fact he's set to benefit from their preferences. Does this give him a shot? Big One Nation vote here, and as I understand it, they're recommending preferencing you. You've got to be happy with that after they got 16% at the last poll. And what does drive the One Nation vote here?
Look, with respect to One Nation, this is their home territory. Pauline lives very nearby. Senator Hanson lives nearby, I should say. But ultimately, the electorate are free to preference the way that they see appropriate. And I believe that we're the first major party that One Nation are preferencing. And for that, we're thankful. They did come third in the primary vote last time round, but ultimately respect the individual's right to preference how they see fit. So it seems to me after this visit, Kieran, there's a reason why Liberal Campaign HQ is in this state. There's a reason why it's speculated the Liberals might launch their campaign in this state. And there's a reason why Scott Morrison wishes that it was only Queensland perhaps voting for him. He'd have a lot easier time at election time. The reception was very different for Scott Morrison here, even in this marginal Labor seat, than I found in Western Australia and that I found in New South Wales. There's no doubt he's going to win the majority of the seats here. He hasn't got teal independence and other such things to worry about. It's the other states where it's more of a battle for him.